welcome back to Googie's Kitchen, and if you are new here then hello and welcome. My name's Alexis, and in today's video I want to share with you how to make this delicious beef kofta with a creamy and fragrant rice. As I just mentioned, today I want to share with you how to make my delicious beef kofta with a creamy fragrant rice. So this recipe, as always, is really easy. It is quite time consuming, but it is very easy to prepare and cook. So the first thing we're going to do is make the kofta. So what I've got here is I've got a small handful of coriander that I've just chopped up roughly, basically, and then I've got one onion that I've peeled, sliced and diced as well. I did try to do it evenly, but my chopping skills are never great. And then I have one carrot as well that I have peeled and grated. The reason I tend to grate and chop my vegetables quite small if I can is because my husband and son aren't great vegetable fans, I have to say. So I'm always trying to hide things in their food, especially vegetables and herbs and spices as well. And now I'm going to do, to that I'm going to add about 500 grams of minced beef. So I'm just going to put that in as well. And I have just touched the minced beef, so I'm just going to go and wash my hands. Just wash my hands, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some almond flour to this, and this is just to make the kofta quite solid. So I'm going to add about 4 tablespoons of almond flour, 2 to 4 I'd say. If you haven't got almond flour, then you could always use breadcrumbs if you wanted to, or any alternative that you think is okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a teaspoon of cumin seeds as well. And this is just to give it that nice kofta taste. My husband and son absolutely love these, and my son actually eats these as snacks as well. So I'm making a few extra for them today so that Ted can have them as snacks because he really enjoys them. So I'm also going to add just a touch of pepper. As I'm serving this to my son who's 9, he generally doesn't like to, he doesn't mind spice, but he doesn't like it too spicy. So I only add a little bit of pepper at a time, and I'm also going to add a bit of salt as well. Again, I'm feeding this to a 9-year-old who doesn't mind salt, but he doesn't like it too salty. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and dampen my hands, and then I shall make the kofta. I have dampened my hands, and this is just to stop the mixture from sticking to my hands. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrunch all of these ingredients together. So I'm going to get my hands right in there, and I'm going to scrunch everything together until all of the ingredients are well mixed in. So I'm just going to continue to do this now, and I've gone and dampened my hands again so that nothing gets stuck again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this mixture into 4, like so, and then I'm going to divide the 4 parts into 4 equalish parts again. And I just want to apologise because I think I keep calling this beef kofta, and it's not beef kofta, it's beef kofta. Is it kofta? Somebody let me know in the comments below. I think that's what they call it anyway, kofta, I think. So yes, as I said, I'm just grabbing a piece of the mixture, and then I'm rolling it into a ball like so, and then I'm just putting it onto the plate. And as I said, I'm just going to continue to make the kofta balls now. As you can see, I have finished making the kofta balls. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these into the fridge for a couple of hours. You could make these the day before and store them in the fridge overnight if you wanted to. And also, if you haven't frozen your mince already like I have, you can make these and then put them into a Tupperware box and just simply freeze them. And then all you have to do is take them out on the day that you want to eat them, defrost them, and then put them in the oven. The reason I am putting them into the fridge is as soon as they hit the baking tray, so I'm going to preheat my oven, and I'm also going to put the baking tray in at the same time. They will hit, the fat will hit the baking tray and hopefully penetrate the meat and make them very juicy, which is what my son and husband love about these. So as I said, I'm off to put these into the fridge for a couple of hours now. I've transferred the beef kofta to the baking tray, so I preheated this baking tray, This is a stoneware baking tray, so I don't need to add any oil to this, but if you don't have stoneware, then obviously add the oil that you want to. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these into the oven for about 25 to 30 minutes, or until they go a lovely golden brown colour. While the meatballs are cooking, I've grabbed myself a small saucepan, so I'm making this for 1.5 portion, I'd say. So that's why I'm only using a small saucepan, but if you are making this to the original recipe, I would use a big saucepan for this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this onto a high heat on the hob, and I'm going to add a little bit of oil to the base of the pan, like so, and I'm going to leave the pan to heat up. The pan is getting nice and hot, so what I've done is, again, I've sort of quartered the ingredients. So I've got 2 spring onions here that I've topped and tailed, so I've removed the bottoms and the tops from the spring onions, and then I've just simply diced it into about 1/2 centimetre pieces, and then I'm going to add this to the base of my pan, and I'm going to fry this until it starts to soften. The pan is quite hot, so I'm just going to turn it down a little bit. It shouldn't, because the pan is so hot, it shouldn't take that long to soften. So it'll probably take about 2 minutes. Yeah, that took about 2 minutes, and the spring onions have already started to soften. So now I'm going to add in 2 small cloves of garlic that I've simply peeled and sliced. So I'm going to add those to the base of my pan, and I'm just going to fry those for about 30 seconds or so. You just want the garlic to go a slightly golden brown colour. It shouldn't really take too long, to be honest, and you just want to infuse the oil with it as well. Burnt garlic always tastes a bit bitter, so I try not to burn the garlic if I can. And I think that's done. So now I'm going to add half a green pepper. In the original recipe I said a whole green pepper, but obviously I'm only serving 2 people, so I'm going to add in my green pepper. So I just basically took the top off, removed the core, and then I just sliced and diced half the pepper. So I'm just going to put that in, and I'm going to fry this now for probably a good 5 minutes or so, just to help it to soften. If you prefer crunchier vegetables, then you don't have to fry it for as long. My husband and son prefer softer vegetables, so I'm just frying this for a further few minutes. I have been frying the green pepper for a good 5 minutes, and it's really started to soften quite well. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in a small amount of cumin seeds to this, and also a little amount of fennel seeds as well. In the original recipe I said 1 teaspoon. But my husband and son aren't great fans of fennel or cumin, so I'm only adding in a little bit and hoping they don't notice. To be honest, I think they probably will, but hopefully they'll eat it. So yes, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in my rice to this as well. So I had done a portion and a half a portion for my son. And I've just basically washed the rice through the colander, and now I'm just going to add it to the saucepan, and I'm going to fry this for about a minute or so, just to heat it through basically, and then I will add some bone broth. So I fried the rice for about a minute or so, and it started to go lovely and clear and see-through. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in some bone broth to this. So I've got about 300 ml of bone broth here. In the original recipe, I think I said about 600 ml. So basically what you want is I might have to add some water to this. I might be alright. No, I'm going to need to add a little bit of water to this. So basically what you want is the spoon to hit the bottom of the rice, and then you need it about 2 centimetres above the top of the rice. So you need the liquid to go about 2 centimetres above the top of the rice. So I'm just going to wash that off as well. I didn't have enough bone broth, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to add water. I'm just going to pour that in like so, and I think that's done now. So that's about 2 centimetres. The liquid is about 2 centimetres above the top. So I'm just going to turn the heat back up, and I'm going to bring this to the boil, and then I'll leave it to simmer. So the kofta have gone a lovely golden brown colour, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these from the oven. My rice is cooked, so I'm going to serve up, and that is my husband and son's dinner done. The rice has come to the boil, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn the heat down to a medium heat, and I'm going to leave this to boil until all of the liquid has disappeared. The liquid had disappeared from the rice, so I just added in a handful of spinach and a small handful of coriander. In the original recipe, I think I probably said something like 2 handfuls of spinach and 1 of coriander, but as I said, as I'm only serving this to my husband and son, I didn't need as much. And then I just added in some natural yogurt to this. So you can add natural yogurt, or you could add sour cream. Cream cheese works really well as well if you wanted to add that. So that's the creamy part, and then obviously the fennel and the cumin make the fragrant part. So that is the rice done. I think my meatballs are nearly done, so I will plate up, and that is my husband and son's dinner done. That's how you make my delicious beef kofta with a creamy and fragrant rice, and that recipe I will link in the description box below for you. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be serving this to my husband and son this evening, and I would try it myself, but if they see there's been a bite in it, they will go mad because it smells so good. I think they're going to gobble this all up. So for now, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to give me a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and please feel free to leave any comments below, and please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. See you all soon. Bye.